You've been told so many things about yourself. Some said you're too weak. Some said you're too late. Some said you don't deserve what you're praying for. But God leans in today and says, no. You are only worthy for this. Not because you have done everything perfectly, not because you've never fallen, but because He has chosen you, set you apart, and placed something in you that no one else carries. And what's coming next was made with your name on it. Pause for a moment. Imagine you're standing in a crowded room and someone walks in holding a gift. They pass every single person until they reach you. They look you in the eyes and say, "This was always meant for you." That's how God works with His promises. He doesn't hand them out randomly. He doesn't let them get lost in transit. He's been holding something in His hands, waiting for the exact moment to place it in yours. But why me, you ask? You can list 100 reasons why you think you're not ready. You can remember every failure, every doubt, every time you almost gave up. And God replies, "Do you think I didn't see those moments? Do you think I didn't notice when you cried yourself to sleep? When you prayed for strength and felt like none came? When you thought no one was watching you fight to stay faithful? I saw it all, and I decided you are worthy." Maybe you don't feel strong enough right now. Maybe you think you're still too broken, too behind, too far gone. But God does not measure worthiness by human standards. He looks at the heart. He sees the resilience no one else sees. He knows the battles you fought in silence. And here's the truth. What He's preparing for you is not something just anyone could carry. It requires someone who's been through the fire and still chooses to stand. It requires someone who's been knocked down but refuses to stay down. It requires someone like you. You've been wondering why certain doors closed, why opportunities you thought were perfect slipped away, why some people walked out of your life when you needed them most. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. God was removing what would have kept you from stepping into what you were truly worthy of. There's a timing to this, and He knows exactly when to open the right door. You've waited, you've prayed, you've endured seasons of silence, and now the shift is coming. Picture this, a seed buried deep in the soil. No one sees it grow. It breaks in the dark, stretches upward through the weight of the earth, searching for the light. It doesn't happen overnight, but one day it pushes through. That's you. You've been growing where no one could see, and soon the evidence of that growth will be undeniable. You are not here by accident. Every challenge has been shaping you. Every setback has been training you. Every no has been setting you up for a better yes. And when it arrives, you will know. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This is the fulfillment of a promise that had your name on it from the beginning. You've been asking, "Lord, am I ready?" And He's answering, not only are you ready, you are worthy. So lift your head. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop believing the lies that say you don't have what it takes. God's hand is on you. His plan is for you. And nothing, no person, no setback, no delay can take away what He's prepared. It's coming. And when it does, you'll understand why you had to wait, why you had to fight, and why you had to trust even when it didn't make sense. Because what's on the way is exactly what you were made for, and you are only worthy for this.
There's something powerful about knowing you've been chosen. It changes the way you walk into a room. It changes the way you face your battles. It changes the way you wait for what's coming. When God says you are only worthy for this, He is reminding you that what He's giving you is not something that can be taken away. It's not tied to the opinions of people. It's not dependent on a title, a status, or a position. It's tied to His word over your life. You've seen others receive their breakthrough. You've clapped for them, celebrated them, prayed for them. But deep inside, you've wondered, when will it be my turn? And God says, your turn is not delayed, it's being prepared. The right thing at the wrong time can still be a loss. God's plan is to place it in your hands when you can hold it without fear, without doubt, and without letting it slip away. Think about it. Gold is tested in fire, not to destroy it, but to prove its purity. In the same way, you've been through the fire. You've been refined, shaped, and strengthened not for just any blessing, but for a specific one with your fingerprints already on it. Every trial you faced was not to push you away from the promise, but to fit you for it. You needed to learn how to stand when the wind is strong. You needed to learn how to listen for God's voice when everything around you is loud. You needed to learn that His approval outweighs everyone else's. And through all of that, you stayed. You didn't quit. You didn't run away from His presence. Even when you didn't feel Him near, you still whispered prayers into the silence. That's why you're worthy. Don't mistake the season you're in right now as the final chapter. Some of the most beautiful stories take time to unfold. Some of the greatest victories are born out of the longest battles. You may feel like you've been overlooked, but in truth, you've been preserved. God has been keeping you away from counterfeits, distractions, and traps that could have stolen your future. You've been hidden in His hands, waiting for the moment when what He has for you will be revealed. You're about to step into something that fits you so perfectly it will feel like it was custom made, because it was. The alignment will be undeniable. The peace will be overwhelming. And the joy will feel like coming home after a long journey. When you walk into that season, people will ask, "How did you get here?" And you'll know the truth. It wasn't just skill, or luck, or timing. It was the hand of God choosing you, preparing you, and trusting you with something precious. So even now, while you wait, hold your head high. Not with pride, but with quiet confidence in the one who calls you His own. Remind yourself daily, if God says you are worthy, no one can call you unworthy. If God says it belongs to you, no one can take it. If God says your time is coming, nothing can stop it. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep expecting, because the moment is on its way, and it carries your name.
Sometimes the hardest thing to believe is that you really are enough. Not enough because of what you've done, but enough because of who you belong to. You've measured yourself against other people, and in your mind, you've always come up short. But God has never measured you that way. He's looked at your heart, your faith, your perseverance, and said, "Yes, this is the one." When God chooses you, He doesn't ask for a perfect resume. He doesn't look for spotless records. He looks for surrender. He looks for someone who will say, "Lord, I can't do this without you." And that's exactly what you've done. There were nights you questioned everything, mornings you didn't want to get out of bed, moments where you thought, "This is it. I can't go any further." And yet, you took another step. That step mattered. Every single one did. God saw you forgive when you could have held a grudge. He saw you give when you had barely enough for yourself. He saw you love people who didn't always love you back. These choices built something inside you, strength that can't be faked, compassion that can't be taught, faith that can't be shaken. That's why you're only worthy for what He's bringing. Because you didn't just survive, you grew. You didn't just wait, you prepared. You didn't just believe, you trusted. Sometimes the preparation feels like punishment. It feels like you're being left behind. But the truth is, God's been building you into someone who can stand in the blessing without losing themselves. Anyone can receive a gift, but not everyone can carry it well. You can, because you've learned how to lean on Him, not on your own strength. You've been tested in ways no one knows about. You've fought battles in secret and kept walking as if nothing was wrong. You've prayed prayers that only heaven heard. And heaven responded, not with a maybe, not with a we'll see, but with a yes. When the day comes and the blessing is in your hands, you'll realize it was never about whether you were qualified enough. It was about whether you would let Him shape you into who you were meant to be. So if the road feels long right now, remember, God doesn't waste your steps. Every delay has a purpose. Every detour is protection. Every closed door is clearing the path for the one that opens and stays open. You are not at the end. You are not forgotten. You are not unworthy. You are exactly where you need to be for what's ahead. And soon, the same voice that spoke over you in the quiet, the same voice that said, "You are only worthy for this," will speak again. And this time, you won't just hear it. You'll see it. You'll hold it. You'll live in it.
There is a reason your journey hasn't looked like everyone else's. A reason the path has been harder, the wait longer, and the lessons deeper. God was not just getting you to a destination. He was preparing you to live there. Some people can receive something too soon and lose it just as quickly, but not you. He has allowed time to teach you things that quick success never could. Patience, discernment, gratitude, and most importantly, how to keep your eyes on Him when the world is full of distractions. You might not have understood why certain friendships faded, why opportunities you prayed for didn't happen, why doors you were so sure about slammed shut. But looking back, you'll see those were not losses. They were protections. If you had stepped into the wrong thing, you wouldn't be ready for the right thing. It's easy to believe you've been overlooked when you watch others get ahead. But God does not overlook His children. If He has you in the waiting, it's because He's working on something bigger than you expected. Something worth the tears, worth the patience, worth the faith it's taken to keep believing. Think about how a master craftsman works. He doesn't rush. He doesn't cut corners. He takes time to shape every detail until the piece is perfect. That's what God is doing with your life. You are His masterpiece, and He will not hand you over unfinished. So while others may seem to run ahead, stay focused on your lane. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for the season you're in. And when the shift happens, it will happen suddenly. It will feel like overnight everything changed. But you'll know it wasn't sudden at all. It was the result of years of unseen preparation. When it comes, you won't have to force it. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to prove you deserve it. It will fit naturally and perfectly, like it was always meant for you, because it was. And in that moment, you'll understand why the path was hard, why the road was long, and why God kept saying, "Trust me." Because the blessing ahead isn't just good, it's right, it's yours, and you are only worthy for this.
There's a quiet strength that comes from knowing God's hand is on your life. It's not loud, it's not showy. It's the kind of strength that keeps you standing when everything tries to push you down. You've had seasons where you didn't see the point in continuing, when prayers felt unanswered and the silence was heavy. But even then, something inside you refused to quit. That was God's Spirit in you, reminding you that your story isn't over. People may have misjudged you. Some may have underestimated you. Others may have walked away without ever knowing the battles you were fighting in the dark. But God saw it all. And He never once thought you were disqualified. You've been walking through a refining process, even if it didn't feel like it. Every trial stripped away what wasn't needed. Every challenge strengthened what was. And now you're carrying a kind of faith that can stand in storms without breaking. This is why what's coming is so specific. It's not for anyone else. It's not something that could have been handed to just anybody. It's been shaped for you, measured to fit your calling, your heart, and your journey. God's timing isn't always understood in the moment. We wonder why He waits, why He doesn't step in sooner, why He lets certain things play out longer than we want. But He's not just thinking about today. He's thinking about what will keep you standing tomorrow. When the answer arrives, it won't just bless you. It will last. It will be steady. It will be covered in His peace. And it will remind you every day that He chose you for it. So don't let impatience push you into something less than what's meant for you. Don't trade a lifetime blessing for a moment of relief. Wait for the one that was promised, the one with your name written on it from the beginning. And when it comes, you'll know deep in your spirit. This is why the wait was worth it. This is why the fight was worth it. This is why the tears were worth it. Because you were only worthy for this. Some blessings don't just show up in your life. They arrive carrying the weight of every prayer you've ever prayed. That's what God has in store for you. Not something ordinary, not something you can explain away as coincidence, but something that makes you stop, look up, and say, only God could have done this. You've been in seasons where you wondered if God had forgotten you, when it seemed like everyone else's prayers were being answered except yours. But He hasn't been ignoring you. He's been protecting you. Sometimes He withholds not because you're unworthy, but because the moment isn't ready. And when the right moment comes, everything will align without you having to force it. Think about a key and a lock. The right key won't open the door until it's turned at the right time. You've been holding the key in faith, and soon God will turn it for you. Along the way, you've faced moments where giving up seemed easier, moments where the battle in your mind was heavier than the one in front of you. But even then, you stood. You didn't see it, but heaven noticed, and every time you chose to stand, you were proving that you're not just asking for the blessing, you're ready to carry it. What's coming isn't fragile. It's not temporary. It's not going to slip away the moment it arrives. It's solid, rooted in God's promise and built to last. It will give you peace that doesn't waver when circumstances change. It will give you joy that isn't stolen by what people say. It will give you strength to walk boldly into what's next. And when you receive it, you'll realize something powerful. It's not just about you. God is giving you something that will also bless others through you. Your story will encourage someone else who's waiting. Your victory will become proof that God is still faithful. So don't let the current season make you doubt the future one. God's word over your life hasn't changed. His plan hasn't failed, and His promise hasn't expired. It's on the way, and when it arrives, you'll know without a doubt this is the moment he was talking about when he said, "You are only worthy for this."
There are moments in life when everything feels quiet, too quiet. The kind of silence that makes you wonder if anything is happening at all. But just because you can't see the movement doesn't mean God isn't working. Some of His greatest work is done in the unseen. Think about seeds planted deep in the soil. You can't watch them grow, yet day by day they push closer to the surface. The silence above the ground hides the life taking shape beneath it. That's what this season has been for you. It's not emptiness, it's preparation. You've been learning how to trust God without constant signs, how to believe His word even when it doesn't match your circumstances. That's faith at its purest. And that kind of faith draws God's favor. When He says you are only worthy for this, He's saying He has matched the promise to your preparation. It's not random, it's intentional. What's coming is going to make sense of the road you've walked. The loneliness you felt, it was teaching you to lean on Him more than on people. The closed doors, they were teaching you to recognize the right one when it opened. The waiting, it was stretching your faith so it wouldn't break under the weight of the blessing. You are stepping into a time where things will begin to align faster than you imagined. Opportunities you didn't chase will find you. Conversations you didn't expect will open the right doors. And the peace you've been longing for will finally settle in your heart. When that happens, don't question if you deserve it. Remember, this isn't about deserving in human terms. It's about being positioned by God for what He's been holding for you. You've been shaped for this, refined for this, anointed for this. So when it arrives, walk into it boldly, not with arrogance, but with gratitude, not to prove anything to anyone, but to honor the one who made it possible. This is your time. This is your season. And this is the fulfillment of the promise He spoke over you, the one that says, "You are only worthy for this."
You may not realize it yet, but everything you've been through has been building toward this moment. The delays, the detours, the disappointments, they weren't meant to break you. They were meant to prepare you. God has been removing what couldn't go with you, the people who wouldn't support you, the habits that would have drained you, the mindsets that would have limited you. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. You've been praying for something specific, and in the silence, you wondered if God was listening. But He's been listening more closely than you think. He's been shaping the answer so perfectly that when you see it, you'll know it could have only come from Him. Sometimes the preparation hurts. Letting go of what you thought you needed isn't easy. Walking away from familiar places takes courage. But God doesn't call you out unless He's leading you into something better. The next season of your life won't be defined by constant struggle. It won't feel like you're barely getting by. It will carry peace. It will carry stability. It will carry joy that isn't shaken by what's around you. And when it arrives, you'll recognize it instantly. Not because it's perfect, but because it's aligned. Aligned with your purpose. Aligned with your prayers. Aligned with the word God spoke over your life long before you could see it. You are not just stepping into a blessing, you're stepping into the reason you were made the way you are. Every unique part of you, every gift, every scar, every lesson, it all connects here. This is why He said, "You are only worthy for this." So don't shrink back. Don't doubt the moment when it comes. Receive it, live it, and let it become the testimony that reminds you God's timing is never late, and His promises never fail.
There's a shift happening, even if you can't fully see it yet. The heaviness you've been carrying is beginning to lift. The battles that once drained you are losing their power over you. And deep inside, there's a quiet knowing. Something is about to change. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the Spirit of God reminding you that His word over your life is still active. What He promised is still on its way. And the reason it's taken time is because it's being built to last. You've seen what happens when blessings are rushed. They don't hold up under pressure. But yours is different. It's been formed in the secret place, refined in your waiting, and strengthened in your storms. That's why, when it comes, it won't collapse. You've wondered why the road to this point has been so lonely. It's because not everyone can go where you're going. Some people were only meant to walk with you for a season. Others had to step away so you could step up. God didn't remove them to hurt you. He removed them to make room for what's coming. Every moment of isolation was actually an invitation to hear His voice more clearly, to depend on His direction, and to trust His timing above your own. And because you stayed, because you didn't give up, because you kept believing even when you didn't see results, you're stepping into a prepared place. This next chapter will not require you to fight the same battles you've already overcome. It will be a season where your faith works for you instead of just sustaining you, where you'll see fruit from seeds you planted long ago, where what once felt impossible will become your reality. When you walk into it, remember this. It's not just about you. Your breakthrough will open doors for others. Your testimony will spark hope in people who thought God had forgotten them. Your life will be living proof that when He says you are only worthy for this, He means it. So keep your eyes open, stay expectant, because what's been promised is closer than you think. And when it arrives, you'll know it was worth every step it took to get here.
There comes a moment when the waiting ends, when what you've been praying for is no longer a hope, but something you can see, touch, and walk in. And for you, that moment is drawing near. You've carried the weight of unanswered questions. You've felt the ache of delayed dreams, but none of it has been wasted. Every day in the waiting was shaping the person who could receive what's about to come. God has been faithful even in the silence. He's been aligning the right people, the right opportunities, the right timing. And He's been aligning your heart with His plan so that when the blessing comes, you'll hold it with gratitude, not fear. You may have thought this journey was about endurance, but it's also been about transformation. You are not the same person who first started praying for this. Your faith is deeper. Your trust is stronger. Your perspective is clearer. And that is why you are ready. When the door opens, it will not be small. It will not be partial. It will be exactly what God intended from the very beginning. And it will carry confirmation so strong that you won't have to ask if it's from Him. You'll just know. Every hardship you've faced, every tear you've cried, every battle you've fought will lead to this moment. And in that moment, you'll look back and see the thread of God's faithfulness woven through it all. This is not the end of your story. It's the start of a new chapter. A chapter filled with answered prayers, unexpected blessings, and divine connections. A chapter where you finally step into what was always meant for you. So stand tall, lift your head, and walk forward with confidence, because the one who promised is faithful. And He is saying over you now, you are only worthy for this.
There's a reason God didn't let you settle. A reason the things you thought you wanted didn't last. A reason He closed the doors you were ready to walk through. It wasn't because He was withholding from you. It was because He was protecting what He had for you. Sometimes what we think is good enough is far below what God has planned. And if He had let you keep it, you would have missed the very thing that's about to be placed in your hands. This is why the journey felt uncomfortable. This is why you've had to release what you thought you needed. Because what's coming is so much greater than what you left behind. You've been walking by faith when it would have been easier to walk by sight. You've chosen to trust even when nothing made sense. You've stood your ground when you could have given up. And every time you chose to believe, you were stepping closer to this moment. The promise God has for you is not ordinary. It's not something that can be duplicated or stolen. It's been designed with your name, your calling, and your future in mind. And it's been waiting for the right time to be revealed. When it arrives, it will not come with confusion. It will not require you to compromise. It will not drain your peace. It will bring clarity. It will align with His Word. It will feel like the missing piece you've been searching for, finally in place. And here's the part you need to remember. This isn't just about receiving something. It's about stepping into a season where you become who you were always meant to be. Strong, confident, faithful, unshaken by the opinions of others. The blessing will be undeniable, but so will the change in you. People will notice. They'll see the light in your eyes, the peace in your spirit, and the joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. They'll ask what happened, and your answer will be simple. God kept His promise. You are stepping into a fulfillment that will not only bless you, but ripple out to everyone connected to you. Because when God says you are only worthy for this, He means it will be more than you imagined, yet exactly what you need.
Every promise from God carries its own appointed time. You cannot rush it. You cannot force it. But when the moment comes, nothing can stop it. You've been in a season where it felt like nothing was moving forward. Prayers seemed unanswered, and opportunities felt distant. But behind the scenes, God has been aligning the details. Pieces you couldn't see, conversations you didn't hear, doors you didn't even know existed. He's been setting the stage not just for you to receive the blessing, but for it to be established in your life for the long term. Because He doesn't give temporary gifts. He gives promises that endure. The struggle you faced has been more than random hardship. It's been preparation. Each challenge taught you something that will matter in the season ahead. The patience you learned in waiting, the discernment you gained from loss, the resilience you built in the storms, all of it was necessary. You may not have liked the process, but you will love the outcome. And when it arrives, you'll see why God didn't let you take shortcuts, because shortcuts can't carry the same weight as the long road of obedience and trust. You've asked God many times, "Why me?" both in moments of pain and in moments of hope. And His answer has been the same. Because I made you for this. I equipped you for this. I called you to this. So, don't be surprised when favor begins to find you, when the right people cross your path, when open doors appear without you knocking. It won't be random. It will be the arrival of what's been promised all along. And when you step into it, there will be no doubt in your heart. You'll know that every tear, every trial, every long night was leading to this. You'll know that you didn't just stumble into the blessing. You were prepared for it. God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't overlooked you. He's been saving something special, something powerful, something lasting, because you are only worthy for this.
Some seasons teach you more in the silence than in the noise. You've walked through days where no one could see the weight you carried. You smiled when your heart was heavy. You encouraged others while wondering if your own prayers were being heard. But heaven saw it all. And heaven has kept record, not to count your failures, but to remember your faith. God has a way of turning hidden faithfulness into public testimony. What you did in the quiet,
He will honor in the open. What you endured without recognition, He will reward in ways no one can take from you. This next chapter isn't about proving your worth to people. It's about living out what God has already declared over you. And what He has declared is unshakable. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are ready. The blessing ahead will not come with the weight of striving. It will come with the ease of His timing. It will arrive when you are able to enjoy it without fear of losing it. It will fit your life like it was always meant to be there. Some will be surprised by how suddenly things change for you. But you will know it wasn't sudden at all. It was the result of years of faith, obedience, and trust. This is the part of your story where what you've believed in secret becomes your reality. And when it happens, your heart will know exactly who to thank. Not chance, not luck, but the God who saw you, shaped you, and said this one is only worthy for this. So keep walking forward with your eyes on Him. Don't rush what He's building. Don't doubt what He's promised. Because soon you'll step into the place where faith turns into sight, and every step you took to get here will make sense.
Every chapter of your life has been leading here, even the ones you wished you could erase. The moments you thought were wasted were actually woven into a bigger design. God has been using all of it, the victories, the mistakes, the heartaches, to prepare you for what's ahead. Nothing you've been through is pointless. Every trial has deposited something in you: wisdom, strength, compassion, and unshakable faith. And now, those things are not just part of your story, they're the foundation for your future. When you step into what God has prepared, you will notice something. It won't feel foreign. It will feel like coming home. Because deep down, your spirit has been shaped for this all along. That's why certain things never satisfied you, why smaller dreams couldn't hold you, why you always felt there was more. Because there was. And that more is now within reach. Some blessings are like sudden rainstorms. They pour out quickly and pass. But what's coming to you is more like a river. It will keep flowing. It will keep refreshing you. It will keep producing fruit in your life. And it will not just bless you. It will bless those connected to you. Your breakthrough will make a way for others. Your testimony will breathe hope into tired hearts. Your obedience will open doors you never imagined. When God says you are only worthy for this, it means the blessing matches the battle you've fought. It means the victory matches the faith you've kept. It means the reward matches the obedience you've shown. So as this new chapter unfolds, walk in it fully. Don't hold back. Don't question if you belong there. You were made for this, and heaven has been waiting for the moment you step into it.
There's a deep peace that comes when you finally realize God's promise was never in danger. Not from delays, not from detours, not from the doubts that tried to creep in when you were tired. What He spoke over you has been secure from the very beginning. Every twist in the road was already accounted for. Every setback was already woven into the path forward. And every no you received was simply clearing the way for the yes that's on its way. You've been through enough to know now. His timing is perfect. Not always comfortable, not always how you imagined, but perfect. And because of that, when the blessing comes, it will meet you in a place of maturity. A place where you don't just receive it, but you steward it well. A place where you recognize it's not just for you, but for those you're called to impact. This isn't just an answered prayer. It's a divine assignment. And that's why the preparation had to be so precise. Because what you're stepping into requires more than talent or desire. It requires character, faith, and resilience. You have those now. You carry the evidence of someone who's walked with God through both the valley and the mountaintop. You know what it is to depend on Him fully. You know what it is to hear His voice in the stillness. You know what it is to trust Him when nothing makes sense. That's why you're ready. That's why you're worthy. Not by the standards of people, but by the declaration of the one who made you. So, as you step into the season, remember, this is not a random gift. This is the fulfillment of something that has been marked for you from the start. And it will carry the unmistakable signature of God's hand on your life. You are stepping into more than you prayed for, more than you dreamed of, and more than you imagined. Because when God says you are only worthy for this, He means it.
You've walked through seasons where nothing seemed to make sense. Prayers went unanswered, opportunities slipped away, and the road ahead felt uncertain. Yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still holding on. That alone is proof of something powerful. It's proof that the grace of God has been carrying you. It's proof that your story isn't over. And it's proof that His hand has never left you, not for a moment. The blessing you're about to step into is not a coincidence. It's the result of divine orchestration. God has been aligning the right moments, the right people, and the right opportunities in ways you could never have arranged yourself. And when it comes, it will come with such clarity that you won't have to second-guess it. There will be no confusion, no doubt, no hesitation, just a deep knowing that this is what you've been waiting for. Along the way, you've learned that waiting is not wasted time. It's been a refining time, a time where God shaped your patience, deepened your trust, and strengthened your spirit. Because He knew the size of the blessing required the strength of someone who wouldn't let go. You've also learned that not every open door is meant to be walked through. Some were distractions, some were detours, and some were tests to see if you would settle for less than His best. You didn't settle, and that's why you're here now, on the edge of something so perfectly designed for you, it will feel like it was always yours. When you step into it, you'll realize this was never just about receiving something from God. It was about becoming someone who could walk in it with confidence, humility, and faith. And as you do, remember, this isn't temporary. This isn't fragile. This is built to last. Because the one who promised it is faithful. You've been chosen. You've been prepared. And now,
You've been through enough to know now. God never wastes a season. Even the hardest moments, the ones you wished you could skip, have been shaping you for what's ahead. Every disappointment was building your strength. Every delay was protecting your future. Every closed door was pointing you toward the right one. There were days you didn't feel strong enough to keep going. Nights you prayed just to make it to the morning. Times when it felt like you were walking alone. But heaven saw every step, every tear, every act of faith. You've been hidden, but not forgotten. And in that hidden place, God has been working on you and for you, preparing your heart, aligning your path, and making sure that when the blessing arrives, you'll be ready to carry it without fear of losing it. This is why it couldn't come sooner. It wasn't because you were unworthy. It was because you were being made ready. Ready to recognize the blessing, ready to protect it, ready to walk in it without compromise. What's ahead is not small. It's not something you'll have to fight to keep. It's rooted, it's steady, and it's been designed with you in mind. And when it comes, you'll look back and see that nothing was wasted. The pain had a purpose. The waiting had a reason. The process was necessary. You're stepping into a season where the promises of God will not just be words you read or hope for. They'll be your reality. And when that happens,
you'll know in your heart you are only worthy for this.
There is a shift happening around you, even if it feels subtle right now. The atmosphere is changing. The weight you've carried is beginning to lift, and the road ahead is starting to open in ways you didn't expect. You've waited, you've prayed, and you've stood your ground when it would have been easier to walk away. That persistence hasn't gone unnoticed. God has seen every moment you chose to trust Him instead of giving in to fear. The next chapter of your life will not be a repeat of the old one. The same battles you fought before will not follow you into what's ahead. This is a new season, one marked by peace, clarity, and provision. And when it comes, you won't have to fight to prove it's yours. It will carry God's fingerprints so clearly that even those around you will see it's been divinely appointed. You've wondered why the process took so long, why certain prayers seemed to hang in the air without an answer. But what you couldn't see was how much God was building in you during that time. Wisdom, discernment, strength, and a deeper ability to hear His voice. Those qualities will matter in this next season, because the blessing isn't just meant to be enjoyed, it's meant to be stewarded. It's meant to grow. It's meant to influence lives beyond your own. So don't be surprised when doors start opening one after another. Don't question why opportunities seem to find you. It's the harvest from seeds you've sown in prayer, in obedience, and in faithfulness. This is your moment to step forward without hesitation, not to strive for what's coming, but to receive it with the confidence of someone who knows they were chosen for it. Because when God says you are only worthy for this, it's not a suggestion, it's a declaration over your life.
There's a certain kind of breakthrough that doesn't just change your situation, it changes you. That's the kind of breakthrough you're walking toward now. It's not just an answer to prayer, it's a turning point in your life. God has been building this moment with care. Every connection, every lesson, every delay, woven together so precisely that when it all comes together, you'll see His signature all over it. You've been faithful in the small things, even when no one noticed. You've shown up, even when you didn't feel like it. You've trusted God's voice over the noise of doubt and fear. That's why you're ready for what's next. This blessing will not feel forced. It will come with peace, with clarity, with confirmation in your spirit. It will arrive in such a way that you won't have to question if it's from God. You'll simply know. And when it does, it will fit you in a way nothing else has. It will align with who you are, with the calling on your life, and with the season you're in. You'll look at it and think, this was made for me. Because it was. The enemy tried to convince you that you missed your chance, that you were too late, that you weren't good enough. But God has kept His word over you, and no amount of delay or resistance has been able to erase it. This is why He calls you worthy. Because you didn't quit, because you kept believing, because you trusted Him when it was hardest to trust. And now, as you step into this new chapter, you'll see it for what it truly is. Not just a blessing, but the fulfillment of a promise that's been waiting for you. You are walking into what was always yours. You are stepping into the moment heaven has been preparing, and you are only worthy for this.
There's a certain kind of breakthrough that doesn't just change your situation, it changes you. That's the kind of breakthrough you're walking toward now. It's not just an answer to prayer, it's a turning point in your life. God has been building this moment with care. Every connection, every lesson, every delay, woven together so precisely that when it all comes together, you'll see His signature all over it. You've been faithful in the small things, even when no one noticed. You've shown up, even when you didn't feel like it. You've trusted God's voice over the noise of doubt and fear. That's why you're ready for what's next. This blessing will not feel forced. It will come with peace, with clarity, with confirmation in your spirit. It will arrive in such a way that you won't have to question if it's from God. You'll simply know. And when it does, it will fit you in a way nothing else has. It will align with who you are, with the calling on your life, and with the season you're in. You'll look at it and think, this was made for me. Because it was. The enemy tried to convince you that you missed your chance, that you were too late, that you weren't good enough. But God has kept His word over you, and no amount of delay or resistance has been able to erase it. This is why He calls you worthy, because you didn't quit, because you kept believing, because you trusted Him when it was hardest to trust. And now, as you step into this new chapter, you'll see it for what it truly is, not just a blessing, but the fulfillment of a promise that's been waiting for you. You are walking into what was always yours. You are stepping into the moment heaven has been preparing, and you are only worthy for this.
This is the moment you've been walking toward all along. Not a random blessing, not a fleeting moment of relief, but the fulfillment of a promise that was written over your life before you even knew how to pray for it. You've waited, you've endured, you've trusted through seasons that tested everything in you. And through it all, God has never stopped working. Now, as you step into this season, you are stepping into alignment, where your preparation meets His timing, and His promise becomes your reality. The weight you carried is being lifted. The doors that were shut are swinging open. The prayers you whispered in the dark are being answered in the light. And when you look back, you'll see that nothing was wasted. Every tear watered the ground for your harvest. Every delay made the blessing stronger. Every trial carved depth into your faith. This is why God said you are only worthy for this. Because it's not just about what you're receiving, it's about who you've become in the process. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are anchored in faith. And now, you are ready. So walk forward with peace. Step boldly into what He has placed before you. And let your life be the testimony that proves when God calls you worthy, nothing in this world can take that away. This is your time. This is your moment. And this is the promise fulfilled.